Everyone, my name is Becca Briley, SWIHA Success Coach, joining you here on a Wellness Wednesday to feature an amazing coach with a very important message because it's something that will creep up on you when you start your program, and you might find yourself either stuck in it, repeating it over and over again, or allowing your mess to become too much of your message. So joining us today is Jasper Marie, SWIHA Success Coach. Hi, Jasper.
Hi.
Welcome. Thank you for saying yes to joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, I asked Jasper what she thought would be very important for us to, collaborate here, share, explore for your benefit. So those of you who are watching, leave comments, questions, use all the little emoji icons for your reactions. But the big point of today is maybe even asking yourself the coaching question. Are you stuck in your story? Right? That's a big one. And how do a lot of us as healing arts practitioners, we've probably been through our own healing journeys and are still on them, right? One day at a time. Is how do we allow, like you said, Jasper, how do you allow your mess to become your message, right? How do you allow some of your pain to become your purpose, or as I say, your wounds into wisdom, right? We can use all the words to make it sound pretty. Does it always feel pretty? No. And as coaches, we know that when we hold sacred space for another, it is not about us. And I will ask a real question. How many have been coached by someone who has said, yes, I will coach you, and it's about you? And when you start talking about you, they make it about them. And this is real. We don't have to name names, right? We've been there, and it's what we want to avoid. However, as Jasper named, we can allow our story to become part of our brand. And we should, if we're going to allow ourselves to be that vulnerable and authentic. So, Jasper, I'll ask you to kind of just kick it off, and you can go as deep as you like or not. But in what way have you allowed, your path, right, on your healing journey, which started over a decade ago, I believe you said, decade ago for yourself, and then to work and build your own practice started in like 2018. So how have you allowed your quote unquote mess to become part of your message?
Yes. So thank you so much, Becca, for having me here. I appreciate that intro. So for me, I basically grew up a very, standard American diet. I didn't really know anything about nutrition. I didn't know anything about fitness. I wasn't in sports or anything like that. And my family basically like didn't ask me to or didn't make me to or make me do it. And so when I got older into my adulthood, I found myself sick all the time. I would wake up with massive headaches. I would wake up nauseous almost every single day. I didn't correlate the fact that, oh, it was because I was addicted to things like fast food and soda. I thought it was funny, honestly, not to drink water, which was kind of, just thinking back now, I'm like, why did I do that to my poor body?
Wow. Wow.
And so I finally hit this point where my clothes stopped fitting me. My friends didn't want to hang out with me because I would always get sick. And so I ended up just staying home. I remember one day specifically, I was supposed to go out with friends, completely cancel my plans because none of the things that I wanted to wear will fit on my body or like felt good on me. And I would just stayed home and sobbed in bed because I didn't recognize who I was anymore. And it was the next day that I finally decided to go online, look for a program to support me in losing weight. I knew nothing about cooking. I knew absolutely nothing about nutrition, anything like that. And I found a group called Tone It Up that I ended up using their program, and slowly but surely, incorporating exercise and trying to cook. Like, I taught myself every single thing that I know. And I got to a point a few years in where I had lost almost 60 pounds. And
Woo!
yeah, it was amazing. And on the
Yeah.
outside, I was like everything that I had wanted. I
Mhm.
was like the weight I wanted. I, was eating better, all of this stuff. But on the inside, I would still call myself like the F word, is what I like to say about
Mhm.
that word.
Mhm.
Um, even though I was like under 100 pounds. And so
Mhm.
I recognized that even though I had lost all of this weight, I was still so unhappy with who I was. And it was at that point that I was like, oh, it's not about the weight. It's about like how I feel about myself and my confidence levels. And so that's kind of what like boosted my journey to like starting to fall in love with myself rather than falling in love with my body.
Mm.
um, and that took me on a next journey of incorporating things like, meditation and like listening to podcasts, just like learning how to grow myself mentally and spiritually. And so that's kind of what brought me into the work that I do today, which is fitness and nutrition coaching. However, I bring in an aspect of really focusing on every single part. So my business model is mind, body, earth. So I bring in sustainability, mental health, fitness. We talk about all of the layers so that we can really get deep down. And what I talk about is it's not about losing weight, it's about gaining confidence. And so that's kind of how
Ah,
my
gave me
original
chills.
that's kind of how my original mess became my message today and how I support people.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh, I love that so much.
thank you.
Um, okay, so question. When you finally got to that place of building that confidence, did the weight management work itself out? Like it was like you found your peaceful place and then you didn't have to try so hard. Did it become
Mm,
easier, natural,
yes.
or
Yeah, absolutely. Because, at that point when I had lost all the weight, it was very much rooted in looks. And I got to a point where like I was like starving myself and
Mhm.
then working out twice a day, and it was a very like un unsustainable way to like be like nutritious and healthy. And at that point, like I was still afraid to go out with my friends, because at that point I was like, oh, if I go out, I'm going to drink and I'm going to eat bad food for me, and then so I don't even want to go out. So it became this like one extreme to the next. And once I actually found that confidence within myself is where I finally was able to meet myself in the middle. And now everything is very natural. It's more about food freedom. It's not about restriction, it's about balance. And so I use all of those kind of like values in the way that I move my body and the way that I eat today.
wonderful. Here's the big question. How did you work this story, that you just shared, which maybe you haven't really shared publicly like you are right now? And I thank you for your vulnerability. How did you work that into your brand and your marketing message? How do you share that with your potential clients, right, who aren't clients yet? How do you share that with your demographic so that they can resonate with you, right? They can like see themselves through you. How
Mhm.
do you do that effectively, Jasper?
So for me, a lot of what I talk about is like kind of what I said is food freedom. The freedom to be able to enjoy the things that you love and not having to restrict everything, like all of the pleasurable experiences, because, you know, um, having a nutritious like lifestyle and eating style and physical, all those things like don't matter if you're not also nourishing your soul.
Mm.
That piece really has to be incorporated into the whole, because that's where a lot of people find themselves struggling and then they give up because it's too difficult. They love cake and then they completely take it out of their life, and then they find themselves sad when they're around cake and they're not able to eat it, and then
Mhm.
that's when the like binging happens and things like that. So that's a big piece of it. And then I talk about, like, one of my taglines is don't just lose weight, gain confidence.
Mhm.
That's a huge thing for me. Really talking about the foundation of releasing not just physical weight, but mental and emotional weight. That kind of,
Yes.
holds us back from really finding a deep love for ourselves, because you can have this body and still not like yourself. So it's really the concept of like finding love for yourself, and then that's when you find love for your body.
Yes, I love that so much. Do you ever do very vulnerable like posts or videos or work it into any of your email marketing campaigns when you're connecting with potential clients of like little pieces of your personal story that kind of like, connect of like your humanness and your own journey so people can build that connection with you before they've even worked with you?
Absolutely. So on social media, I have shared a little bit of my story. Bits and pieces come out every now and again. And then I actually just did a post the other day. I did a video of I had been holding on to like a few pairs of pants that I
Mm,
like love so much. They were my favorite pairs of pants. And as I get older, my body's changing. I'm growing up. Like I'm no longer the same like body that I was when I was 21. And so I did a
mm,
video about like releasing those pants, buying new pants that fit me and feel really good on me, and I feel really confident in them, and just like accepting my body for in all of its stages as it is now, and not expecting me to be this size 00 that I was when I was like 20 years old or 21. you know,
is it your Earth to Jasper page?
Syzygy
Or
Wellness Co.
oh, I
Is
found
my
it.
Instagram page. Yeah. So
I'm
Syzygy
just
Wellness
looking.
is my business.
I'm peeking at it right now. But I wanted to kind of just show people, a real working example of, what they could technically be doing with their practice. Because I love your branding. And did you build your brand all by yourself?
I did. Yes. Yep. I just, go on Canva and did everything on there. I made my own logo. I chose all my colors.
Amen. I'm gonna spotlight
Yes.
you. It's time.
Oh, you're so
Um,
sweet. Oh, are you on my
yeah,
link,
this
my
is
link in bio?
gorgeous. Is your about page, is that where a mini story is about your
You could go my about page. So this is one thing actually, if you do go there, we can kind of like talk about a little bit. Where I talk about my story, I am going to create a video because I think video really connects with people a little bit more than actually like reading. Like a couple paragraphs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch out the all that for a video, but it's a good example to kind of show people, um, you know, just talking about dedicating ourselves to creating balance through mind, body, and earth. And I kind of talk about a little bit about the mind, body, and earth here. And
mm,
those are what we're kind of rooted in.
yeah.
Um, this
Is
is
this your
just
demographic? Younger women?
younger women, well, kind of all women,
Okay.
just anyone who wants to find strength, confidence, alignment. Syzygy actually is another word for an eclipse. And so when
Hmm.
we're in an eclipse, we are in alignment. So that's kind of where the word syzygy came from.
I love that I just found your story. See? And then you
So
share, you get super vulnerable and you
I
share your
do. I
transformation.
do. So a big thing here is it's kind of like where I started back in 2013 when I was at my least nutritious self. When
Yeah.
then it went into 2016, a few years later, and this was at the point where I was working out a lot and really, from the outside, it looked the part, but on the inside was very malnourished.
Mm,
To
mm,
today, where I am happy and feeding myself and enjoying my cake and my cocktails if I want, and also
mm.
being sure to balance that with like really great nutrition. So that's kind of, yeah.
Oh, that is so moving. Wow. Yeah. I'm just scrolling through so everyone can see this and enjoy the journey. Um, but I love it because it's also highly effective in your own marketing scheme of things. Um, because a lot of times coaches will work in, like email marketing campaigns. When someone does connect with you, they will tell a bit of their story. So it is actually a storytelling technique in the
Mhm.
brand so that your niche, right, your followers, your potential clients can literally connect with you emotionally before you really even,
Mhm.
or before they connect, because it's like
Absolutely.
they know you've been through it. Oh my God, that is so cute.
Mhm. And
Love
that
it.
actually, it kind of like goes back to like what I actually talk to graduates a lot about, and the
Mhm.
people that I work with here at SWIHA is this work that we do is so vulnerable. And so if
Yes.
someone is going to choose you to work with, they want to trust you. They want to see your face. They want to hear your voice. They want to know that you're out there doing the work. And so to be able to show up on either social media or your website or anything and really be able to share what you're out there doing, that is so huge because that's going to be like what draws someone to want to work with you because they have built this trust and safety within you.
Amen. I got to give you a shout out for celebrating your website launch.
I was very
For those of
excited.
you practitioners who haven't yet or who are rebranding, don't forget to celebrate and call that out.
Mm,
Um, yeah, love, 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 love your color scheme here.
thank you.
Um, as a fellow success coach, I nerd out on all those things. I'm going to follow you.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, this is beautiful, and I love it. Serious question, because this is important too for marketing. Do you have a photographer, or are you your own photographer?
I am mostly my own photographer or like
Hmm.
my partner.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly like just like my partner, like just go out into the wilderness and take fun photos. It's so fun to even getting together with your friends. I think that is just like one of the most fun things that you can do for each other is like go out and put on some fun clothes and take photos outside. And it's such a great way to build content and have fun with your friends.
Exactly. And that can be part of your storytelling, your story sharing.
Mm,
Tripod, reverse the camera, right? You don't have to like turn it around, but you could just use the flip screen. That's what I do.
mhm,
Set your timer,
mhm.
go run, right? Do your little posture or whatever you're doing. I'm not even going to say pose, whatever you want to
Absolutely.
call it, and then capture the moment. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it's a lot of fun, you know. I hear sometimes from like graduates or students or people that I'm working with, just like feeling the overwhelm or like the
Mm-hmm.
nervousness to get in front of the camera, and I'm like, just start doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like even if you just take a bunch of photos or videos that you don't even think you're going to post, like just to get comfortable in front of the camera and just watch those videos back and be like, oh, okay, I like that. Oh, you know what? I didn't really like that. So just finding
Mm-hmm.
that confidence is so
Getting
huge.
playful. Yeah,
Hmm.
getting playful and creative. And that's a big one too. I think maybe that should be our next topic when you and I meet up,
Mm,
is just that the social media burnout, or like how to overcome those obstacles when you don't
Mm,
want to be actively engaging and out there, but you should.
mm-hmm,
It's like a
mm-hmm,
lot of pressure for some people. So
absolutely.
boundaries, right? Too. It's a mindset, boundaries, and just having a consistent calendar that works for you, right, Jasper?
Absolutely. Just, doing what you can. If you really look at your schedule in a week and you're like, okay, I have an hour free on this day and I maybe have like 30 minutes free on this day. How much, like, what can I get done in that amount of time? Like, how can I plan my week for success? Instead of like feeling pressured to get on and create content every single day, where can we find time in our schedules, just like 1 hour to 2 hours a week where we're planning out everything?
Oh, yeah, that's so good. Well, I will share this. I mean, because we have the holistic nutrition program at SWIHA, which
hmm
is, where I too got a lot of my education and knowledge. We
hmm
have the holistic health and wellness coaching program coming up online in August. So for those of you who are interested or on your own journey, with self-love, with
mm
nutrition, no matter what it is, we also have the integrative healing arts practitioner diploma. So there's literally something for everybody, where you can
Mhm,
go into this view all programs page. Literally, you can take one class, you could take a certificate, or you could take like a full degree or diploma, an
mm,
associate's degree. So
mm.
there is something for everyone, no matter where you're at in your healing journey. And just like Jasper today, it requires that vulnerability to be able to really dig deep with that self-awareness component to say, in what part of my life do I need to shift or change some things? So, Jasper, thank you for sharing that today.
Absolutely.
It's
It's my
so
pleasure because
beautiful.
a huge part of sharing our story is just connecting with other people who have also experienced those same things and, you know, uh, them being able to know, like, oh, wow, like they did it, I can do it too. So, just if I can offer
Yeah.
any sense of relief and peace to anyone that, it's possible.
Amen. And part of, connecting at SWIHA in the initial beginning is with admissions. And that is where admissions coaches will ask the coaching questions, hold that sacred space for you to tell your story. Maybe you've healed yourself, maybe you're going through it, maybe you haven't yet begun, but that's where you'll kick off that initial conversation, choose what program you want. And then when you're exiting, you would be meeting with like Jasper to talk about this exact thing, launching your business. How are you going to share your story with the world in a loving and profitable way now? That is our SWIHA mission.
Mhm.
And thank you for embodying that, Jasper.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. Well, as always, just leave a comment, question, with compassion, maybe just a little note for yourself on how you can love yourself more to be more whole, which I call to be holy, is to be whole in that way that
Mm.
you put out there, Jasper. So thank you for being you. And for those who haven't met Jasper, if you're a student or graduate, she is also here for success coaching support.
Yeah,
All
yes, come see
right.
me.
Thank you. I appreciate you. I will see you out there, sister.
Thank you,
Thanks,
love.
everybody.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.